Echomancy is real. It is legitimate. And I hate to admit it because I really did not want this to be a thing that existed, but we found proof of it in the fact that Wuthering Waves is coded off of C++ coding language. Now, I'm not a coder, but I have a friend who is, and we got to talking. Turns out, this is probably not super visible. Now it is. This is C++ randomizing function code. This is pretty much the only way C++ coding can actually do randomized integers. So here's the deal. As you read through this, you can kind of see that this main text that initializes the random number generator to do the actual generation is based off of time. So if we go back to what we were talking about in the previous video, where depending on the minute, second, millisecond, hour possibly that you roll your echo stats, you could manipulate the odds to be odds one way or another. Now, we don't have enough tests essentially per minute to see what each of the minutes odds are going to be, but they do seem to be different from the ones we do have tests of. We have 7 minute is like 430 tests at, right now. 9 minute has a little over 100, and I think minute 2 or 3 has like 70 or 80, and the rest have less and less than that. But they do seem to be showing trends. It's not the same percentage for everything, or even the percentage for everything that Crow Games has given us. Because this exists. So I've been doing this on some of my echoes recently, and every single echo I have rolled at the 7 minute mark when the minute hits has rolled a crit stat or a attack stat, pretty much, if I'm out of crit stats. Like, they have rolled so consistently good, it's insane. And I hate to think that this is legit. In my previous video, I was like, hey, if it isn't real, there's nothing to lose. You're going to roll the echo anyways. But if it is real, well, if it's real, it works really, really well. And it seems like we found proof that it's legit. Now, Curl Games could come out and tell me, no, we actually found a way to code C++ to do a random number generator differently. But from my friend who's a coder, he knows multiple languages, Python, C++, JavaScript, a bunch of others. He said that this is pretty much the only way C++ can do one of these. I asked him. The only reason I'm not going to particularly show it is because I don't want to leak Discord message. Well, you know what? We'll leak it. Good friend of mine, also a streamer, Random Puddles. Okay. I sent him the image. I asked him, what does this mean? That the random RNG is still being derived from a seed generated based on a time scale. Or am I tripping? He said, yeah, it sets the seed for the RNG based off of the current time to make it true random. It's the reason why the Pac-Man ghosts move the same every single time. They didn't do SRAND like we see in this. So SRAND off of time is what makes it random. Pac-Man was a pre-generated instance, right? Even though their movement was meant to be completely random. And then I asked if C++ does C++ have any other way to dictate a true random generation other than this? Because if this is the only way that it can generate true random, this changes a lot of things in the game. He said not as far as he knows. I don't know why we would ever need a better one, because this simple line of code just does it great anyways. So here's the deal. Okay. If this is the only way that C++ can realistically do a random number generator, and the way that makes sense for Kuro Games to have done it, because it is coded in C++, we can manipulate the odds of our echo rolls depending on time, something that the Genius Society I mentioned in my previous video is working on that spreadsheet. So there's leaks that we're getting a substat reroller, and I honestly That plus manipulating echoes, we are going to be able to forcefully make perfect roll echoes for cheaper than the rest of the players in the player base, because we know about Echomancy. And this is kind of crazy. And I'm kind of like jittery about it, because it's like, I don't want it to be real, but it's real. And now that it's real, there's so many opportunities. I think a great thing we need to think about. What if we're able to manipulate the rolls for our pulls to avoid times when we are going to have a lesser chance to pull the characters we want? You know, there are things in the game now. What if we're able to manipulate when we crit with low crit rate characters? What if we can really min-max crit damage and just hit them on the 7th minute, 22nd second, right? And we have 400% crit damage and a shit ton of attack stat and no crit rate, really. And we crit and we hit that big crit and we one-shot the boss with Jinchi if we time it right, you know? There's so many avenues that this plays a role in. Echo drop chances. Will the enemy drop an echo? If you kill it at the right timing, it might have a higher opportunity to. There's options. So this is really big. This is actually a really big thing to have learned about C++ coding language and about the game itself, because this actually might make things very, very numerically based, right? We're going to have people really running and crunching numbers for this. So I'm really excited to see what comes from this. I'm going to keep doing Echomancy because it seems to keep working for me. And I implore you, try rolling your echoes on the 2nd, the 7th minute of every 10-minute like interval hits. 907, 917, 927, 937, right? Try rolling your echoes on that 7th minute. The 9th minute also. 9th minute seems to be pretty good too. Try rolling your echoes on the 7th or the 9th minutes, because it seems to work really, really well. I'm not talking like just within that minute. I mean, when it hits, and pretty much it seems every 15-second interval after that. 0, 0, 15, 30, 45, right? Try rolling your echoes then. Because, I mean, you're going to roll them anyways. It doesn't hurt to try. If it, for some reason, doesn't work like this, I mean, you never know. You're going to roll them. Might as well roll them with higher odds if you can, right? But that'll be it for this video. Thank you for watching. Follow me at twitch.tv/CashySwanson to watch these live.